afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Brady's in for Susan, who returns next week. How's your day?
It's going well. How's yours?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, happy Tuesday.
Threw my back out at the gym this morning, but...
You went too hard. You went beast mode.
Well, it was country music day.
Well,
they were playing country music, and I got a little line dancing or something.
Okay. Well, you know, next time, maybe don't wear the huge belt buckle.
and the boots, you know.
Yeah, and the
boots on the treadmill don't
You have
work.
to be careful.
All right, let's get going. Topping our news today, Middleton police say reports of an attempted abduction are unsubstantiated, but an investigation is now underway.
And Dallas is still reeling after getting the second highest rain total in a 24-hour period.
And both Governor Evers and the man running against him, Tim Michels, made campaign stops around Wisconsin with different messages for people in America's Dairyland. Let's take a look outside. Another sunny, warm August afternoon.
Doesn't that look pretty out there?
Yeah, it's very pretty.
You know, when your back heals, you can go out there, listen to some country music, and just have a nice time.
There you go. The rain returns. Julian likes that idea.
Yeah.
He's in the backyard.
Really nice. Yes, that's right. In the backyard is another gorgeous one for us on tap. Feels just like summer, like it should be around this time of year. But we are expecting some rain to return later into the week. But until then, let's just soak up what we have for today, which is just flat out great weather. Blue skies, a couple of clouds lingering, but 82 degrees so far is what our high has been for today. And we're normally around 79 degrees, so this is pretty typical seasonable weather for us. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin, 81 degrees in Janesville with 78 in Platteville. Many of us are pretty uniform into the lower 80s and upper 70s. So we're all feeling pretty good because we're also not looking at too much in terms of dew points. But taking a closer look into Dane County, areas just to the north of Milwaukee and Sauk City and Sun Prairie are into the low 80s, around the near 80-degree mark for us. Now, as we take a look at our dew points of what we're seeing, well, rather comfortable into the mid-50s and low 60s throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Going into tonight, expect 59 degrees. Could see some areas of patchy fog. But as we take a look at our traffic, we do have an alert, not just on the Beltline. The Beltline's pretty smooth, but over towards, Road 12, just outside of Jefferson. There was an accident that involved two vehicles, so expect some delays with that area. But over towards the interstate, we are looking pretty smooth as we're getting things rolling for us. We'll talk more about what else is to expect later into the week, coming up in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. A lot of talk has been circulating on social media today after what Middleton police are calling a suspicious incident.
Our McKenna Alexander joins us live from Parmenter Street, where the event reportedly occurred. McKenna?
Yeah, Middleton police are investigating a report from a 16-year-old girl who says yesterday around noon she was walking here on this street just a few blocks from Middleton High School, and says as she was walking, a white semi-truck pulled up and came to a stop. She says a man then got out, asked her if she had a boyfriend. She felt uncomfortable, didn't respond, and ran away. When she turned around, she reports she did not see the semi-truck or man behind her anymore. Now, that suspect is being described as a taller, skinny-fit black man with slightly longer hair than normal and gold teeth on top and bottom. Now, Middleton police are continuing to investigate this, but say so far they haven't received any information that leads them to believe this is an attempted abduction.
All right, McKenna, thanks for that update. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the man killed in this weekend's interstate crash as 59-year-old Paul Nielsen of Elkhorn. Authorities say Nielsen was pronounced dead at the scene of the crash after a semi-truck rear-ended his car going northbound on I-90 this past Sunday. After the vehicles collided, the semi veered left and crashed into the median before rolling over. State Patrol officials say the semi-truck driver was able to get out of the vehicle and was taken to the hospital for his injuries. Nielsen's death is still under investigation.
The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office has identified two people who were killed in Saturday night's crash in Sun Prairie. 21-year-old Vicky Wendt and 23-year-old Kobe Weisterman Barnes were both from Cuba City. The two were pronounced dead at a local hospital after their Honda Civic was involved in a crash at the intersection of Reiner Road and Innovation Way just after 8:30 p.m. The driver and passenger from the other vehicle were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover.
Will there be policy changes in the Dane County Department that looked into abuse allegations in the home of a child who was killed earlier this year? It could be another couple of months before we find out.
That little girl died in April, days after the Human Services Department looked into those allegations. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles has closely followed this case and now joins us with new records. Naomi?
Yeah, what I got earlier is the 3-month review from the state required in any child's death in Wisconsin. Now, it confirms many details that I've already reported from court records, and it adds a few as well. For example, we now know that the suspect in the killing, Marshawn Giles, had been accused at least twice before of abusing his own children. And 2 CPS agencies, one of them, Dane County, had not found enough evidence to substantiate it. Plus, we know there were 2 other calls connected to the family that were not screened in at all. We also know the toddler's 2 siblings are back with the mother, and all are still receiving services from Dane County. Now, Giles is accused in court of child sexual assault and murder, with an update on his case expected later this week. In the meantime, the state's review of the death continues, but we won't know if they're recommending policy changes until a 6-month report.
All right, Naomi, stay on it for us. Thank you. Governor Evers was in Milwaukee this morning to discuss his proposed child tax credit for working Wisconsinites. The governor was joined by Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson and the Department of Revenue Secretary Peter Barca, among others. As part of his biennial budget, Governor Evers proposed a $600 million tax relief for working families with a $4 billion surplus that's expected to rise over the next year. The governor's looking to send credits to caregivers having trouble getting back to work.
I hear leaders on the other side of the aisle say that they want to give taxpayers' money back to taxpayers, but I've yet to see it. Time and time again, I laid out plans to do just that, including some of these proposals I'm talking about today, and they've downright refused. So let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's show up for the people of our state. Let's get this money back to Wisconsinites who can really use it.
The governor says he hopes the legislature will support his proposal, which he says will give a 15% tax cut to the heart of the middle class.
A few Wisconsin Republicans were touring the streets of Kenosha 2 years to the day of sometimes violent protests over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Tim Michaels was joined by Janesville House Republican Brian Stile and Attorney General candidate Eric Toney for a tour of the property that was damaged during the protests 2 years ago.
I give you my pledge that Kenosha nor any other community in Wisconsin will ever burn again. We will shut it down in the first few minutes.
Michaels released a video ahead of his Kenosha tour that included footage of Governor Evers from 2020 saying he had no regrets about his response to the Kenosha violence and wouldn't change anything he had done.
The Republican-controlled state legislature asked a judge to dismiss a lawsuit challenging Wisconsin's 173-year-old abortion ban. The lawsuit filed by Attorney General Josh Kaul and Governor Tony Evers was filed back in June after the Dobbs ruling. The law would force victims of rape and incest to carry their pregnancies to term, only permitting the procedure if it's considered a threat to the mother's life. However, multiple women have reported not being able to receive abortion since the ruling, including women who miscarried and risked death by not having the procedure because doctors hesitated out of fear of prosecution. One Wisconsin woman bled for 10 days after she was turned away from getting an abortion for her miscarried fetus, something that could have killed her. It's primary day, and voters are casting ballots in Florida, New York, and California, or Oklahoma, that is.
Well, the results in all 3 states could have major implications for both parties in terms of the next congressional and then possibly the next presidential race.
Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with a look at today's key matchups.
As voters and candidates head to the polls in Florida, Democratic gubernatorial hopefuls say the stakes couldn't be higher.
The entire country is going to be watching, all eyes on Florida.
This election will determine who gets to take on Ron DeSantis.
Former Republican Florida governor turned Democratic Congressman Charlie Crist and State Agricultural Commissioner Nikki Fried are considered the front-runners in a primary race that will determine who takes on incumbent Governor Ron DeSantis. He's running unopposed on the GOP side. Considered a top Republican contender for the 2024 presidential race, DeSantis has pushed education as a major issue in recent local and national appearances.
Floridians want our school system to be about educating kids, not indoctrinating kids.
While his Democratic rivals have made abortion rights a key issue heading into November.
A woman's right to choose is on the ballot.
We've got strength not only in younger vote, but of course women vote.
In New York, redistricting has pitted 2 top Democrats and longtime congressional colleagues against each other.
Current House Oversight Committee Chairwoman Carolyn Maloney is in a contentious fight with Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler, both first elected to Congress 4 decades ago.
I want to go back to Congress.
It's very unfortunate that we're going to lose one committee chairman.
In Red, Oklahoma, voters will move closer to replacing retiring U.S. Senator James Inhofe. For the Republicans, it's Congressman Markwayne Mullin versus former State House Speaker T.W. Shannon. The winner faces Democratic ex-Congresswoman Kendra Horn in November. Natalie Brent, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And there's one other race to note in Florida, and that's the Democrats' primary to choose who will take on incumbent Republican Senator Marco Rubio this November.
All eyes are on the front runner, Democratic Congresswoman Val Dennings, who is also a former police chief. Well, former President Donald Trump has filed a new lawsuit against the Department of Justice after FBI agents seized documents from his Florida home. Trump filed a lawsuit seeking a special master or third-party attorney to be appointed to review those documents. He's also requesting the FBI return any documents that went beyond the scope of the search warrant. The Justice Department responded with a statement saying the search was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause. Federal Judge Bruce Reinhart could decide this week whether any portions of the affidavit used to authorize the search warrant can be made public.
He's going to try to see, and the DOJ is going to try to see, if there are some discrete paragraphs that are actually educational to the public that they can go forward on.
The New York Times reports since federal agents re-engaged with Trump's legal team this summer and then searched his home, that number has climbed, with more than 300 documents with classified markings obtained by the Justice Department. A Trump attorney signed a statement in June saying all classified material had been returned, but FBI agents found more classified material in this month's search.
Historic and deadly rainfall fell in Dallas for the first time this summer, bringing almost a foot of water in just 24 hours to the city's east side. As residents waded through the water in their homes, Fort Worth firefighters responded to over 170 calls for rescue so far, a number which is expected to increase.
We saw some cars get through it, and then all of a sudden we were stopped, and then I see a car just like floating towards the wall, and so like, oh shoot.
I thought I was gonna die.
At least one person has died as a result of the floods. The victim was 60 years old and died when her car was submerged in the water. Dallas isn't the only place experiencing these floods. Both Utah and eastern Arizona are as well. Heavy rains expected now to leave the area and head to San Antonio and Louisiana.
Heartbreaking stuff.
It really is.
For them.
Well, if you're a dog owner, you're going to want to stay tuned as we learn of a new mysterious illness that's killing some dogs in Michigan.
We'll find out what's going on and what you need to know about man's best friend when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Velco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Velco.
In a recent clinical study,
patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity,
using less or a lot less oral pain medicines,
and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
T-Mobile has 5G here, and we also cover you up here. Yup. Get free Wi-Fi now with streaming all flight long. We do coverage differently, with expanded high-speed data across the world. So you're connected here, and here? Not yet. But down here, you're covered with a year of AAA roadside assistance on us. On the ground, in the air, or overseas, T-Mobile has coverage beyond the expected.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Contestants ready? Go! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
At TSR, we transform your old, beat-up concrete into a beautiful, durable surface in one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings. We specialize in garages, patios, pool decks, basements, and more. We don't just coat over your old concrete. We start by grinding it down, then we apply the base coat and chip and seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. Our coatings are beautiful, durable, ridiculously easy to clean, and are backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. Our in-house team is ready to answer any questions that you have before and after the install. And right now on all projects, we're offering 15% off. Call the number shown below or visit our website for your new floor today.
Day floor. Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
Welcome back. Fewer Americans are looking for a new place to live.
Newly built home sales dropped nearly 12.6% in July compared to the month before. According to the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the U.S. Census Bureau, it is the second consecutive monthly decline. This comes as the median price to build a new home increased to just more than $439,000, and that's a $37,000 hike from June. Meanwhile, the average interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage was above 5% for the whole month of July. A new kind of record at the pump. Gas prices have dropped for 70 days in a row now.
That is the second longest streak in nearly 20 years. They hit a record high of $5.02 on June 14th, but according to AAA, the national average for a gallon of regular gas has dropped every single day since then. U.S. recession fears and worries about China's economy are reasons contributing to the drop, and President Biden's unprecedented release of emergency oil from the national stockpile, that is. Today, the national average for regular gas is $3.89 a gallon. Here in Wisconsin, the average is $3.67 a gallon.
Well, Snoop Dogg, you remember him, is entering the world of children's programming with a new animated kids series. Doggyland, kids songs and nursery rhymes, launched on YouTube and YouTube Kids. Snoop Dogg partnered with Claude Brooks, the Emmy-nominated producer and creator of the children franchise Hip Hop Harry, and singer-songwriter October London in the project. Now, it features a colorful cast of dogs who use song, dance, and rap to teach social, emotional, and cognitive skills aimed at toddlers to 8-year-olds. The rapper voices the main character, Bow Wizzle, who serves as the adult mentor to the rest of the cast.
Well, NASA is sharing some stunning composite images of Jupiter from the James Webb Space Telescope. They put rainbow auroras, giant storms, and far-off galaxies on display. And observation leaders say they were surprised at the quality of the images. In one, orange and yellow spots at Jupiter's poles fade into blues and purples toward the center. And its famous Great Red Spot, a storm big enough to engulf Earth, appears white. A Webb scientist says the numerous bright white spots and streaks are very likely very high altitude cloud tops of condensed convected storms. NASA says you can also see faint rings and far off galaxies photobombing in the background. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, wow. That's nice. Well, you know what else is nice? Apple is helping do-it-yourselfers fix computer issues. A computer giant's self-service repair will be available on Wednesday for MacBook Air and MacBook Pro notebooks. A support website has been set up for customers to get repair manuals, genuine Apple parts, and tools from the Apple self-service repair store. Apple says the self-service program is an attempt to expand access to repairs. Earlier this year, Apple launched a similar repair store for the iPhone.
Well, stocks closed lower again amid a busy week of economic data being released. The Dow Industrials fell 154 points, closing at 32,909. The NASDAQ was down fractionally, and the S&P 500 was off 9. Well, state officials in Michigan are looking into a mysterious death of more than 20 dogs.
Investigators are checking to see if a new strain of parvovirus is the cause. Ray Strickland reports from Detroit.
There is concern among Michigan dog owners after an animal shelter in the northern part of the state announced that dozens of dogs, especially those under 2 years old, have gotten sick this summer. They are coming down with an illness that is consistent with the parvovirus. Most of the dogs die.
Some of them were taken to veterinarians and they were tested negative for parvo. However, there were a couple necropsies that were done down at MSU, and they were come back positive for parvo. So it's more than likely a strain of parvo that is not coming up positive in a test.
Parvo is a highly contagious virus that is spread through contaminated stool. It affects dogs' gastrointestinal tracts. Unvaccinated dogs and puppies are at the most risk. Symptoms include bloody diarrhea, vomiting, lethargy, and loss of appetite. Veterinarians say the key to keeping your dog safe is to make sure they're up to date on their vaccinations. And if your dog isn't vaccinated, then stay away from other dogs.
I would be avoiding high-traffic dog areas where we don't know the vaccine status of those other dogs.
County officials say they will begin weekly vaccination clinics starting Wednesday. Ray Strickland, CBS News, Detroit, Michigan.
And it does appear that the outbreak is limited to that one county in Michigan.
Officials with the animal shelter there say they've heard of many counties in the central and northern part of the state that are affected.
We've heard this before. Get vaccinated.
Yes, it helps.
Still to come at 4, the black population in the U.S. is being harder hit financially than whites.
There's a push to increase financial literacy in the black population. We'll find out what's being done after Julian's first warn forecast.
Mirror, mirror on my 5-piece Tremont bedroom set. Only $9.99. Dresser and mirror, chest, queen bed, even a nightstand. At Bob's Discount Furniture, you get the quality and value you deserve. Even if you like talking to yourself in the mirror.
Get Bob's Discount!
Oh, wow. Packer scratch games are back, and there's a chance to win 2 season tickets for 2 years?
Piggies in a blankie.
Thank you.
Wisconsin Lottery Packers scratch games are back with instant cash prizes and a bonus drawing for 2 Packer season tickets for 2 years. With prizes this exciting, everything feels like an opportunity for a big play. Available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
All right, go Pack Go, man.
It's time to amp up the fun at your local Ford dealer. The summer supercharged sales event is here. So stop by your Ford dealer today and check out great offers on select Ford vehicles. Then discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Hurry to the final days of the summer supercharged sales event for a great flex buy offer on Escape or Edge.
Senator Johnson's working family define him. He and his brothers and sisters were raised by 2 loving parents with deep faith who taught him the value of work. As a young man, he shoveled driveways, mowed lawns, delivered papers, caddied, played Little League baseball, and baled hay on his uncle's farm. At 15, he got a dishwashing job at Walgreens Grill and became night manager before he was 16. After college, he married Jane, his wife of 45 years, and moved to Oshkosh to start a manufacturing business with Jane's brother. For the first year, the two traded 12-hour shifts. Over the next 30 years, Senator Johnson performed just about every task in that business. He installed and operated the equipment, loaded trucks, kept the books, and sold its products all over the world. His business didn't export jobs, it exported plastic. His quiet but extensive charitable work was never done for show, but simply to lend a helping hand, a value he learned from our parents. He's my brother and my best friend.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Summer is ending, but the savings are endless at Bob's Discount Furniture. And this Labor Day weekend, we're having a summer send-off celebration at all Bob's locations near you and all 164 stores coast to coast, with 16 new stores this year alone.
Get Bob's Discount!
Take a look at this. Authorities are trying to figure out what led to a spectacular super yacht suddenly sinking into the sea 9 miles off the coast of Italy. This video shows the impressive vessel slowly disappearing. The Italian Coast Guard shared it after members rescued 9 people. Local reports say rough weather conditions made a tugboat salvage of the yacht impossible, but authorities are still trying to figure out exactly how it went down. I hope
crazy.
They have insurance.
Yeah, a lot of insurance.
A lot of insurance.
They are not living their best lives right now.
Not at all. Oh,
Somebody's got some splaining to do. All right, it's a nice day out there, and another one tomorrow, but then maybe some rain.
Yeah, looks like the rain is just not going to be holding off for too much longer for us. Unfortunately, we're going to need to bring out the rain gear. We'll tell you when and for how long, coming up with the First One forecast after the break.
We've been spending more time than ever before at home, where we're continually inspired to make it our own, where the perfect wall mounting can lift your spirits, and that once hidden path to your door is now illuminated with intrigue to lead you inside. With Patriot Lighting, your lighting is another way to put your personal style on display. Smart, sophisticated, radiant, just like you. We have hundreds of options to make your home and your world shine a little brighter. Find your style with Patriot Lighting, only at Menards.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
Your local Medicare plans have all of the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better because you're working with local agents who know the doctors, specialists, and the hospital networks inside and out. You're not going to get that talking to a national call center wanting to check your zip code.
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Enjoy the open road and make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado pickups. Plus, get 2.89% financing when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Made in America is more than just a slogan. It's smart policy. When we manufacture things here, our shelves are stocked, and it creates jobs you can raise a family on. Like my parents had. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I'm tired of the excuses from millionaires running the Senate. I'll bring manufacturing back here, so folks like you who actually earn your paychecks finally get a fair shot. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
While business landscapes can ebb and flow, Capital Bank remains a trusted resource offering unparalleled business expertise to our local movers and shakers. We help manage our customers' commercial banking needs, which in turn allows them to focus on their business goals. Our new location on Madison's east side will be our third in Dane County and is a direct result of our growth together. When you succeed, we succeed. Capital Bank, 15 minutes from anywhere in Dane County.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And as we're kicking off the rest of our Tuesday afternoon, going in towards the evening hours, blue skies and a couple of cumulus clouds hanging into our skies as of right now, but overall things are still rather comfortable and it's just going to continue to be great as we continue throughout the rest of our evening. 82 degrees right now. We'll start to see temperatures drop just a bit into those upper 70s throughout the course of the evening hours, and going into tonight's, well, mostly clear skies and also going to feel pretty good for us. As we plan out tonight, our lows are going to be hitting into the upper 50s for many of us. Pretty uniform, especially from Madison to Lone Rock and Bosque Bell. Platteville and for Janesville, looking to low 60s for Platteville and around 59 degrees for us in Janesville. Planning out the rest of the evening, going to be rather dry once again and not a whole lot of breeze either. As we transition into the overnight, temperatures are going to take hold into some comfortable conditions for us. And as we wake up for our Wednesday morning, well, just know it's going to be still a little bit comfortable, but then we'll start to warm things back up by the time we get into our lunchtime hour. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures into the upper 70s, lower 80s. And by the time we get into our Wednesday evening, looking for some things to start to switch up just a bit. Ahead of the cold front that's going to be coming into our Wednesday night, we're going to see temperatures start to drop, and then right behind it, some showers and potentially some thunderstorms starting to develop as we get in towards the midnight hour. You're looking for some of these storms to start off mainly into the northwestern corridor. So this will be from Vernon County, areas from La Crosse and Viroqua, what we're going to be looking at overnight. We'll start to inch their way even closer to southern Wisconsin, and we'll start to see just north of Dane County areas going to be looking at some rumblings of some thunderstorms overnight, and this is going to carry on and off throughout much of our Thursday morning. And as we go into around the Thursday afternoon, well, even the late morning hours are still going to be looking at pop-up showers and even some isolated thunderstorms possibly throughout much of our Thursday morning until we get into the lunchtime hour. We'll start to phase out just a bit, but some of us could still see some showers or potentially some thunderstorms on and off throughout the course of our Thursday afternoon until we get into Thursday night. So we're finally going to look at some relief. But other than that, just expect our late Wednesday night and into our Thursday morning and afternoon for us to be looking at some pretty wet conditions for us. And that's why we're going to be looking at some pretty significant rainfall, not for everyone, but for some areas like the Dells could see close to about an inch, maybe even two, depending on how much rainfall we see from some of those storms that starts to sweep through. But areas just to the northwest of Dane County are looking for the most in terms of rainfall totals. But that's just going to be for our Wednesday nights going into our Thursday. We are looking and expecting some rainfall coming into this weekend. Saturday, we have a good shot of seeing some rain, especially late Saturday nights going into our Sunday overnight hours and Sunday morning, where we're looking at our best chance to see some more rainfall that will stick around throughout much of southern Wisconsin until we get into about Monday afternoon-ish is where we're going to be expecting for that system to start to phase itself out. But overall, as we see from Saturday nights through Tuesday, we're looking at, again, some pretty significant rainfall totals, which is going to keep things rather wet for much of southern Wisconsin, which is good because we all need and could use some more rainfall. Now, as we take a look at what we're going to be expecting, again, many of us and many of the days are going to stay rather dry, but to watch for will be Wednesday night into our Thursday, and then from Thursday into Thursday night is where we're going to be looking for our best chance to see some storms. Friday is going to be rather dry. Saturday will be mostly dry until we get into the nightly hours. And then Sunday, Monday is where we're going to be looking at some more stormy conditions. But other than that, at least we have a couple of days of some dry weather.
Isn't that nice?
You're almost getting into the Labor Day weekend there.
What? Yeah, almost, but just not.
Well, the Friday Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, well, we're not there just yet, Mark. You're jumping too far ahead.
I know. At the end of that point.
I don't even know what day it is anymore. I'm just going with the flow.
I know.
Yeah, we just coin flip it now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, is the sun out? Great.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Julian. As people all over the country grapple with the effects of rising inflation, many African Americans are dealing with the worst of it.
Even though the black middle class has grown, research shows African Americans lag behind their white counterparts in income, wealth, financial savings, and even home ownership.
But as Ryan Young reports, there is a push to increase financial literacy and motivate black people to invest in the stock market and consider entrepreneurships.
How tough have the last 2 years been?
The last 2 years have been really tough.
The pandemic and inflation have hit Americans hard, increasing long-standing disparities in some communities. And African Americans want the president's attention.
As a middle-class black woman, I don't see the push for the black economic community really exploding. I think the message is being delivered, but I don't think the message is being captured in the way that we want it to be captured.
Black Americans account for $1.6 trillion of spending power in the United States, but often feel ignored.
We want ours. We need ours. We need to have access to capital. We want action. We need action. We demand action.
Earlier this summer, Vice President Kamala Harris announced new public-private initiatives in underserved communities, hoping to kickstart major minority investments.
And I believe, given the breadth of the financial disparities in our nation, the public and the private sector must join forces to take on these challenges.
Thousands of African Americans travel from all over the country to Invest Fest in Atlanta in hopes of learning the keys to financial literacy and starting their own businesses. This at a time when African American unemployment is nearly twice the national average. Those here tell me creating jobs is a priority.
The black community has a pre-existing pipeline to prison, but we don't have a pre-existing pipeline to wealth.
Film, TV star, and producer Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey helped headline this event, which is all about education and investing. It's the brainchild of these four men who helped create Earn Your Leisure, a financial literacy movement focused on helping Black Americans.
This is a movement, and we call it that very intentionally, right? We grew up and heard things about the March on Washington, right, and the Civil Rights Movement, and that had its time, but right now we're in the financial revolution.
We need to figure out how we can actually attack from the highest level and build our own venture capital funds and have our own private equity firms and do international business, and then we don't actually have to demand the politician to do anything. We can force them to do things. You force them to do things by money.
A recent poll found that 55% of Black and 48% of Latino adults say they are currently facing serious financial problems due to inflation. For white adults, it's 38%.
The wealth disparity between blacks and whites was greater in 2018 than 1968. But everything we do needs to be focused on advancing opportunity economically.
Don Peebles beat the odds. His companies control more than $7 billion worth of investments. He believes African Americans need more direct investment from the Biden administration.
I know President Biden. I've known him for many years. He's a very good person. I believe that he is missing the mark on his most loyal and valuable constituency, because without black voters, he would be a private citizen.
With the midterms looming, Democrats will count on African Americans to turn out and vote, but many are hoping for a return on their long-term investment.
Poor people vote, rich people lobby. At the end of the day, if we want to get something done, we got to vote with our dollar.
Ryan Young, CNN, Atlanta, Georgia.
Get out and vote. Well, coming up next here on Live at 4, Consumer Reports helps us grow and dry fresh herbs.
And then at 5, a paralyzed former tank commander got some new wheels today. We'll introduce you to Irvin Mulkey on News 3 Now at 5.
I'm Tim Michaels, and I know a thing or two about construction. But sometimes, before you start building, you have to tear things down. That's why I'll dump Beaver's job-killing agenda. Totally demolish the woke liberals' anti-police agenda. And hammer Madison's special interest. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm a businessman, not a politician. Tony Evers and his liberal friends have made an absolute mess of Wisconsin. We've got a blueprint to rebuild. But first, we need to do a little demolition.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
One Prilosec OTC in the morning blocks excess acid production for a full 24 hours, unlike Pepcid, which stops working after 9. 24-hour protection. Prilosec OTC. One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjords furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Right now at the Century House, purchase any Fjords furniture and receive up to 20% off. All models, all sizes, all colors. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjords furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient, full-line automaker. Hurry into a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
At USA Insulation, we fix hot homes. Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated. Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
New at 5, continuing coverage. Police search for information on some suspicious activity after an abduction theory was debunked. We'll bring you the latest updates.
Wednesday will be another sunny and warm day. But as a cold front slowly moves through Wisconsin Wednesday night and Thursday, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Dry and pleasant weather returns Friday. I'll tell you how much rain to expect at 5.
And ahead at 6, hailing a taxi is harder in one city than in most others. News 3 Now looks into how the decline in service has impacted that city's residents. That's tonight at 6. Giving the weather satellite a spin, we're ending up in New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire.
A few people are at the beach today.
Oh, chilly though, 70. Well, not chilly, 76. That's a big beach.
It is.
Wow.
Why aren't we there?
That's a new shot. I don't know, because we're here.
Okay.
Talking about herbs and spices that can elevate your meals from plain to a family favorite.
Oh, you're welcome, everyone. Well, here's a warning, though. A Consumer Reports investigation finds potentially harmful heavy metals in some of your popular spices.
Here's more on the spices to watch out for and an easy way to avoid them. Our Leah Lynchide tells us more.
Maybe go with here. So if you clip the top, say 8 or 10 inches, the rest will continue to grow.
Carolyn Ramsey's twins, Dante and Aria, are active helpers in the family herb garden. This year's crop includes thyme, rosemary, and basil.
We're gonna make pesto out of this. It's a good thing to use because it's one herb that makes so many things taste good.
Besides convenience, there are some good reasons to grow your own herbs and spices. In Consumer Reports tests, roughly a third of the store-bought spices they looked at were found to contain enough potentially dangerous heavy metals to raise health concerns when regularly consumed in typical serving sizes. The 3 more problematic store-bought herbs, basil, thyme, and oregano. The good news, they are also among the simplest to grow.
If you have a sunny spot in your yard, porch, or even a windowsill, you can safely grow herbs to use fresh or dry yourself.
Herbs grow well in separate pots with drainage. Place a few stones in the bottom of a pot with a hole in it. If you want to assure that your herbs are free of heavy metals, you need to start with the soil.
Buy potting soil with a seal from the Organic Materials Review Institute to be sure it's been assessed for heavy metals.
It's simple to dry and store your herbs. Wash and dry the leaves thoroughly to avoid mold. Place them in a paper bag for several weeks, then store in airtight containers where they can last a few years. Or speed up the drying process using a toaster oven, air fryer, or multi-cooker set on the dehydration function. So grab some seeds, soil, and get started.
Anybody could do it if they have the right materials and stuff to do it. And the right frame of mind.
For News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
And now that you're thinking about it, take a look through your spice drawer and give them the sniff test.
I need to do this. Although many can last for 2 or 4 years, CR says if you can no longer smell them, it's probably time to throw them away and consider growing a new batch yourself.
Yeah, some have been there more than 2 to 4 years.
That oregano from 2008 probably needs to go.
I would give it a refresh. All right, it may not be making headlines daily anymore, but COVID is still a threat.
And monkeypox continues to spread. The latest of these viruses from UW's Dr. Jeff Potthoff, when Live at 4 continues.
My husband said to give our house more curb appeal, so I started painting. Then I went on Google and looked up the meaning of curb appeal. It said to make it more nicer. So I called Replacement Window Center, and they put in new replacement windows.
Get free installation and 0% financing for 18 months. Free installation and 0% financing. Hurry, call now.
Replacement Window Center. Our name says it all.
Here's to real flavors, real meals, real good. All of Knorr's high-quality pasta and rice sides are now made with no artificial flavors or preservatives. Knorr, taste for good.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Senator Johnson's working family defined him. He and his brothers and sisters were raised by 2 loving parents with deep faith who taught him the value of work. As a young man, he shoveled driveways, mowed lawns, delivered papers, caddied, played Little League baseball, and baled hay on his uncle's farm. At 15, he got a dishwashing job at Walgreens Grill and became night manager before he was 16. After college, he married Jane, his wife of 45 years, and moved to Oshkosh to start a manufacturing business with Jane's brother. For the first year, the two traded 12-hour shifts. Over the next 30 years, Senator Johnson performed just about every task in that business. He installed and operated the equipment, loaded trucks, kept the books, and sold its products all over the world. His business didn't export jobs, it exported plastic. His quiet but extensive charitable work was never done for show, but simply to lend a helping hand, a value he learned from our parents. He's my brother and my best friend.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Research shows that people remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Look what I brought!
Liberty Mutual! They customize your home insurance!
So you only pay for what you need!
Young people having a good time with insurance. Young people, good times, insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Avoiding triggers but still get migraine attacks? Qulipta can help prevent migraine attacks. Qulipta gets right to work, keeps attacks away over time. Qulipta is a preventive treatment for episodic migraine. Most common side effects are nausea, constipation, and tiredness. Ask your doctor about Qulipta.
And a quick update on our traffic. As of right now on the Beltline, still smooth as butter, but we are looking at some slow spots on some of our residential roads just off of Mineral Points. Now, the accident that we did have on US Road 12 has cleared up, so we are looking at smooth sailing for our friends over towards the eastern side. But over towards the interstates, well, we're also looking at pretty smooth conditions as of right now, as we're looking at all green as we get things rolling for us. So that's going to do it for our update on traffic. Let's go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
Thanks, Julian. More than 250 windsurfers graced the picturesque Lake Silvaplana in Switzerland for a 1-hour race. Well, that looks nice. Well, tricky wind conditions force organizers to change the format of the competition. As a result, a timed 1-hour race was created between two buoys, with the winner completing the most rounds between the markers. Now, these foil-class windsurfers will be part of the Olympic program for the first time in Paris in 2024.
They're very cool. They're like floating on top of the water.
A new hobby for you.
No.
Yes, you're Europe. Yes, Mark.
Oh, okay. I'll go to Switzerland and do that. All right. With summer slowly winding down, we enter an uncertain autumn when it comes to COVID and boosters.
Pfizer and the Food and Drug Administration this week to authorize an updated version of the COVID booster designed to target the BA.5 Omicron subvariant.
So are boosters and more vaccines in our future? And what about monkeypox? Lots as usual to talk about with UW Health Chief Quality Officer Dr. Jeff Powda. Thanks for being with us.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi.
COVID is still a threat, even though it's not making headlines these days. We're talking about other stuff, but it's still there.
Yeah, I think, much different than talking to you guys a year and a half ago, where there was, an uncomfortable number of people getting really sick and dying from COVID. That number is certainly lower, but we still have COVID, and I'm surprised by how many people say, hey, I got COVID, and like, boy, that was a rough week. Yeah. It can still make life a little difficult.
Vaccinated people, fully vaccinated and boosted people.
Even vaccinated people, that mild to moderate encompasses, a pretty awful week. It just doesn't include so bad that you're in the hospital.
Well, the BA.5 variant is still our big focus. So how is that going to impact us heading into this fall when it comes to, hopefully not repeating last fall?
Yeah, I think it's possible that we could see some cases go up as colleges and schools start. We're just going to see a lot of people gathered together. We could see more cases. I'm not sure that means more severe disease. We have a good bit of immunity in the community. CDC says up to 95% of people have some exposure to COVID, either through vaccine or infection. And we have these hybrid vaccines that are coming out that may actually target the most common variant that we're still seeing, which is BA.5. So cases might be up, but I'm not sure that that's going to also result in an increased hospitalization.
So we can expect probably a booster this fall.
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely we will see the FDA approve one of these or both of these bivalent vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna. And then with that, they'll give guidance on who's eligible. Certainly, I think those who are older, who've typically been at higher risk, are going to be eligible right away. But I also think those of us who have been boosted once but not a second time, basically everyone under the age of 50, are likely going to be eligible for this bivalent vaccine sometime this fall.
Is there any concern that, switching gears to monkeypox now, is there any concern that as colleges are back in session, will that affect the spread or the dangers of it?
I think there's a theoretical risk there. So monkeypox, the way we're seeing this outbreak spread is really close skin-to-skin contact, and that probably does happen with some increased frequency with individuals who are, say, in college. But, we don't have that crystal ball. I'm not sure that'll materialize into enough additional cases where it makes this take off more, or whether that'll be something that we'll be able to manage kind of within the current construct with, vaccines and things like that.
There is a vaccine for it.
Yeah, there is a vaccine. There's actually two. The old smallpox one would theoretically work for it. We have another vaccine. That's the one that you're seeing used most often, and typically reserved right now for individuals who have had like an exposure or they have monkeypox. You'd be eligible for a vaccine. Or for individuals in high-risk groups, they may also be eligible for a vaccine.
And we all got smallpox shots when we were young. I mean, we all have scars to prove it.
Not all of us, but yeah, those of us.
My generation.
Right.
So
Thank you.
Would that cover this?
Yeah, so it might. The thing that we don't know is we haven't tested your vaccine out. There hasn't been smallpox. You haven't been infected. So theoretically, people who are vaccinated against smallpox may have enough immunity to prevent monkeypox, but we don't really have the study that says yay or nay to that.
And it's not fatal, but it's very painful from what I understand.
Yeah, in this current outbreak, especially in the United States with our medical system, smallpox hasn't been shown to be overly fatal in this population, but it can be a pretty rough course and it can last a long time. It's uncomfortable. So certainly not something that I would, go out and get. It's not like when kids had chickenpox parties. We don't want none of that. But not nearly the same risk as, say, COVID-19, not even on the same game.
Yeah, and then so on the college level, going to schools, elementary schools, high schools, when it comes to just having contact with these, what should parents remember to keep their kids safe?
Yeah, I think, for COVID-19, that's still the bigger threat compared to monkeypox. If you haven't gotten your school-age kid vaccinated, it's a good chance to do that. They're probably going to get exposed. Give them that protection so they don't get either too sick or have those long hauler symptoms. For monkeypox, I think transmission in school is going to be less likely. It can spread via air, but not very well, not like COVID, and it takes that prolonged skin-to-skin contact. So if you're worried about your kids, playing most sports or things like that, I just don't think you're going to see a lot of transmission in that environment.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that's a big key then, that it's not as spreadable, transmissible as COVID.
It's much harder to catch than COVID. This is not a repeat of COVID.
It's not a respiratory droplets. They
think you can, but it's certainly not the predominant mode of transmission versus COVID. I mean, that is like the mode of transmission. But monkeypox, what we're seeing is close skin-to-skin contacts. Not just like brief, like seconds, but a little bit of contact there.
All right, fingers crossed for the fall.
You bet.
All right, Jeff. See you next week. Thank you. For the final check of your forecast coming up.
Made in America is more than just a slogan. It's smart policy. When we manufacture things here, our shelves are stocked, and it creates jobs you can raise a family on. Like my parents had. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I'm tired of the excuses from millionaires running the Senate. I'll bring manufacturing back here, so folks like you who actually earn your paychecks finally get a fair shot. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
What's so great about being a Pick and Save Boost member? Free delivery on the Pick and Save products you love, and more rewards like double fuel points. Boost by Pick and Save Fresh Perks, a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year. Learn more at pickandsave.com.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill once a day that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer. Death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
New at 5, an abduction attempt has been changed to suspicious activity outside a local high school. A 16-year-old girl was approached by a man. He fled thereafter. We share the suspect's description and newest investigation updates with you. That's coming up at 5.
It all comes down to the final drive. News 3 Now brings you the big play highlights and scores from Southern Wisconsin high school football action. Don't miss the final drive. Fridays on News 3 Now at 10.
And taking a quick look at what we're going to be expecting are 3 things we'll need to know to close out our forecast. Well, over the next couple of days, well, through Wednesday afternoon, it's going to stay rather dry, still summer-like, but Wednesday nights into our Thursdays when we're going to be watching for thunderstorms and even more rain chances by the time we get into the weekend. So it's going to be a good idea to keep that rain gear nearby over the next few days, but just notes that tomorrow and for Friday, at least we have some dry weather, guys.
All right, I guess I won't get the car washed then.
You can wait.
Yeah, I can wait. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, if you have a pet rabbit, you're going to want to hear about an important health warning.
And then we'll travel to South Africa to find out how food preferences and allergies are important no matter where you go.
At iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. Don't let the bell ring before you get a chance to save. A $200 value, all for $79.
We're an electrical contractor for commercial ag companies. We have 80 employees and 40 trucks, and we operate all over. We're paying almost double what we did last year for fuel, and policies from liberals in Washington are making it worse. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting for relief at the pump. He voted to finish the Keystone Pipeline and increase U.S. oil and gas production. That could make a real difference for small businesses like us. Tell Senator Ron Johnson, keep fighting to restore American energy independence.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient, full-line automaker. Hurry into a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
My husband said to give our house more curb appeal, so I started painting. Then I went on Google and looked up the meaning of curb appeal. It said to make it more nicer. So I called Replacement Window Center, and they put in new replacement windows.
Get free installation and 0% financing for 18 months. Free installation and 0% financing. Hurry, call now.
Replacement Window Center. Our name says it all.
I'm Tim Michaels, and I know a thing or two about construction. But sometimes, before you start building, you have to tear things down. That's why I'll dump Beaver's job-killing agenda. Totally demolish the woke liberals' anti-police agenda. And hammer Madison's special interest. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm a businessman, not a politician. Tony Evers and his liberal friends have made an absolute mess of Wisconsin. We've got a blueprint to rebuild. But first, we need to do a little demolition.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
In today's Final Touch, soaring gas prices didn't scare away potential buyers of hypercars.
Well, they were on display at the Monterey Car Show in California. Now, if you can afford a multi-million-dollar hypercar, you probably aren't too concerned with gas prices. Still, more and more luxury car makers are moving to hybrid or fully electronic vehicles. Both Bugatti and Lamborghini are unveiling what they call their final gasoline combusting engine vehicles, so you better hurry if you want a gas guzzler. Bugatti is only going to produce 99 examples of the W16 Mistral, each priced at a whopping $5 million, and all of them have already been sold. So, sorry about it.
So you got yours?
Oh, yeah. Yep, in between paying rent and everything else.
Look at that thing.
It's pretty.
It's beautiful. But the last part, I guess that's the future. Electric.
Future is now, Mark. Here we go.
Here we go.
Just driving away in a $5 million car.
I'll pick you up later. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.